Afternoon, everybody. I'm Manoj Kumar, GM HRMS Chris. We are here before you with our APAR module for non-industrial staff. In this particular module, our effort have been to make the whole process online the way it is there in Sparrow for officers. Apart from that, we have used technology to the advantage of, to the best of our knowledge. We have introduced template here. We have also introduced embedded speech to text technology here, and simultaneously predictive text has also been used. It's available in bilingual, both English and Hindi. You can use both of them. Whole rule engine, the way it exists as on date, has been replicated. We follow that rule. We have tried to take certain facility on mobile phone, where as reporting, reviewing, or accepting authority, we generally as a railway officer go out in inspection, or where we have a lot of time during inspection during our journey, or maybe an evening time, which can be definitely be used for reporting, reviewing, and accepting, where we can keep them on draft mode, and when you come back, we can use our digital signature and then upload those systems. So we hope this particular system of APAR will be easier. We have definitely kept your ease of use in mind. We have made it in such a fashion that with use of predictive text and with use of template and also speech to text, there will be lesser mistake in writing APAR, and it will take less amount of time from our end. Moreover, that rules would be completely followed when we are writing initial detail of employee. Those details are also being picked up from APAR itself. So those details are automatically filled in. So there is lesser scope of any mistake as such. It will be secure and safe method of writing APAR. It will take less time, and there will be complete monitoring tool in terms of MIS report, where we will be aware where exactly APAR is and what more we need to do about completing the same. Come to demonstration part of the thing. We will have a small presentation before you, PowerPoint presentation, where we will show you the flow of the work, and then we will go for actual demonstration going on the HRMS site, where how work is to be done, where HRMS team will be there before you. So we'll go through the flow first through PowerPoint presentation. We'll talk about the features which we have given you. These are special features we have provided you. First is rule-based assignment of APAR form to appraisal. We are having people from level 1 to level 6 for whom this APAR for non-custody is to be written. So for them, based on their label, their designation, their department, these are rule-based assignment. If somebody is from level 1, he will have a simple one-page form. Somebody is from level 4, depending upon 5 or 6, depending on which department he belongs to. That department specific form will be available to him. We have a workflow which is pre-decided, designed, through which one can access it. Reporting, reviewing, accepting, and everything can be done through that flow only. We are usually making a set of people, like if you are writing a part of an employee of mechanical department, maybe supervisor starts that as reporting authority, reviewing maybe AME and accepting is if senior DME. So you make a set of SSE, AME, and CNW, and then you attach number of people. Suppose 30 or 40 people are there to be attached, then you attach 40 people to them. So it makes it easier for you to make that team which does that particular work in a particular flow. And once that flow is decided, so it automatically moves through that flow which you have predefined. We have legal compliance in terms of digital signature, since digital signature is legally compliant in terms, as a replacement for signature on online working. So digital signature has been embedded into the system at reporting, reviewing, and accepting level. And then we are keeping it in encrypted form apart for your safety and security. It's only available for, it's visible only to the people who are allowed to see it at that particular stage of writing of APAR. We have tried to inbuild certain advantages which are there for technology. One definitely is a use of template, where you can write APAR. Usually we we have 3-4 types of APAR which we write, maybe average, good, very good, and outstanding, and similar type of words, similar type of sentences we are using. So we can keep our template safe, and we can use that template as cut and paste in any of the form we want. Now, since we are writing a lot of APAR at one point of time, so this template will make it easier for us to write APAR. Similarly, we are having it in bilingual, both English and Hindi. We can write it in both the language. Predictive test is there. Now, predictive test means the moment you start writing, few letters are written, it predicts what next can come and what are those lines which use those 2 or 3 letters. So that you can pick up then line from bottom. It predicts the text. That makes it easier for you to write, and it is you won't make any mistake, a spelling mistake, or writing in Hindi there will not be any mistake in terms of हिज्जे की गलती से हम कहते हैं वो नहीं होगी. So that predictive test gives that advantage. And then we have also embedded here speech to text. So if you want to speak automatically, it converted into text and written there. It's available in both the languages. So these 4 facilities will make your writing apart easier. It's for use for making your job easier, and brings correctness also in our work. Coming to monitoring of APAR process, we are having at the top APAR monitoring cell, below which there would be department and sub-department cell who can monitor activities based on the MIS report we are giving. You will have APAR completed file, you will have APAR yet to be assigned, APAR already assigned, where APAR is lying at a particular point of time, whether it's with dealing clerk or whether it is with appraisee, whether it's reporting, reviewing and accepting, that all those things you can see, so that you can monitor and ensure that APAR is timely completed. Rule engine has number 1 is constitution of APAR cell, that 3-layer cell we are talking about. Then we have mapping of APAR for form for employee, 14 type of form which are being mapped with different type of employee depending upon their level, their designation and their department. Then we have configuration of workflow for APAR, where self-appraisal, then reporting, then reviewing, then accepting, and then appellate authority comes. Then we have form part 1, initial part of the form which is to be filled in, where service detail is to be filled in by employee. All those details are automatically fetched from the HRMS system. This is a big advantage, where we don't have to look for where the details are, since once you have filled in those data in HRMS, database are available to you, and those data are automatically fetched. These are 14 type of APAR form we are talking about. Annexure 1, which is meant for all level 6 and above workshop staff. Annexure 2 for IRW. Annexure 3 for PWI. Annexure 4 for teaching. Annexure 5 for all level 4 and 5. And single form is there for level 1, level 2 and level 3. For Rajbhasha, there is a separate form. We have Railway Board 4 type of form, 1, 2, 3, 4. RPF again, we are having 2 type of form. These are 14 type of form. All those 14 forms are available here. We have 7 parts of APAR, self-appraisal, section 1, part 1, where you fill in detail, which is pre-filled here, pre-fetched from HRMS. Section 1, part 2, where self-appraisal is to be done. All fields which are there in physical APAR, exactly the same fields have been replicated in the system so that we follow it completely. Then assessment is there by reporting officer, which is section 1, part 3. All those fields are available. Reviewing officer can review it on section 1, part 4. Section 2, which is written for earlier GP for 200 and 4600 who are eligible for appearing of non-gusted to gusted exam. All those 5 fields against which rating is to be done. And then we have reviewing officer remark in part 6, and part 7 is for accepting officer. So this is the flow which is there for writing of APAR. Rule-based workflow, which we have met. Initially, personal detail has to be filled in. If level 6 and above, it goes for appraisal. For self-appraisal, if level 6, then it goes to reporting official. If it's level 1 or level 2, it directly goes to supervisor. Then if it is to be written, second part is to be written in level 6, it goes to reporting authority. If reporting official is OS, then it has to go to second reporting authority, who is an officer, for filling up this part 2, section 2, part 5. And then it goes to reviewing and accepting officer. After that, once it is completed, it goes to a APAR cell, and then SMS for finalization to appraisee so that he can see it. If we talk of appeal, once the APR is finalized, it is shown to appraisee, and then appraisee within a time frame can submit his representation if he wishes so. Representation goes to APAR cell, where APAR cell forwards it to concerned appellate authority, and the appellate authority in turn can give to people who are there in the flow. And after completion of the same, it comes back to APAR cell of unit, and then it is shown to appraisee. So this is the basic flow we are having. One more extra facility which is provided is mobile app. Through mobile app, you can do work of reporting, reviewing, and accepting, and keep them in draft mode whenever you are free. Finally, you can definitely use DSC on your laptop or desktop and complete the work. So that's all we have to talk about as far as facility is concerned in terms of our presentation. We will now go to the actual system and see the actual working of APAR. My team will be showing, HRMS team will be before you with actual demonstration on HRMS website. So come for the demonstration now.
Welcome to annual performance appraisal module for Indian Railways. First we log in as a unit admin. Click on APAR and create an APAR cell. The unit admin's job is to create an APAR cell. So we will select one employee, he is an office superintendent, and select a designation. Now it is a dealing supervisor, and we submit a record. We save the record. Now we can see the assigned names here. So this ends the role of unit admin as far as APAR is concerned. Now we log in as APAR DC. The APAR DC's job is to create a departmental cell. They will create a department mechanical. For mechanical, we will create one official. Department in charge officer, and save the record. So it is coming here. So now after we create the departmental cell, now we log in as the departmental cell. Click on APAR. Now the departmental APAR cell has to map the employees to reporting, reviewing and accepting officers. The process of mapping the employees has been split into two parts. First part is to create an hierarchy set. A set of reporting, reviewing and accepting officers are formed, and this set is assigned to employees, either individual or a group of employees. First we will create an hierarchy set. For this financial year, a reporting officer, ELMKDG, YZOEB, is a reviewing officer, accepting officer RHZWDW. Now the purpose of reporting officer 2 and reviewing officer 2 is, in the case of employees in level 6, the reporting officer should be in group C. That is, a level 7 employee will be a reporting official. And in the upper form we have a component known as section 2. The section 2 deals with employees who are likely to be promoted to group B cadre. So for them an additional evaluation has to be done. This evaluation has to be done only by an officer. So a group B officer or a junior scale officer's employee number or HRMS ID has to be entered here. So now in this case it is not required. So we will create a set. Since we are going to, it's a test run for a level 7 employee, the need for a separate reporting officer 2 and a reviewing officer 2 does not arise here. So I skip that. Now there may be in certain forms only a reporting officer is required. Like in level 1, only reporting and reviewing are required. There is no accepting officer. So where a form requires only 2 officials, only 2 numbers may be entered. So based on the need of a particular set, the names have to be assigned. Now we will see the load list to see whether our assignment has been done. We have created a set 55. So here is the set 55. So now the set has been created. Now we will assign employees to this set. First we will select our set 55. And select a bill unit. Pay level 7. And select a designation. So there are around 70 employees are there. I will select just 2 employees. So 2 employees and assign. Yes, we'll assign. So 2 employees have been assigned. Now suppose if I want to I select all. So there are multiple employees are there. Now there is a search option is here. I will select one employee. So I selected, so I have identified one employee. Suppose I want to like this, I can select all the records and search for the HRMS ID. I can also search by using the name. So Mahalakshmi is here. I will try to use Mahalakshmi. See, the name has come. So either way we can allot. If you want to allot one person of a division, we can allot, or a group of employees based on designation or bill unit or a pay level. All these combination of assignment is possible. Now once the assignment has been made, the next process is for the SR dealing clerk to verify the part 1 of the APAR. That is, the personal data of the employee has to be verified by the SR dealing clerk. So the personal data link is here. Because I have logged in as an dealing clerk, you can see the role here. This employee has a roles of dealing clerk, employee role, verifying authority, accepting authority roles are there. So now we are using the dealing clerk role. The employee whom we want to verify. So all the data will be pre-populated from the database. Date of continuous appointment to the present grade may not be there, so that has to be entered. And type of officer, permanent. Then we submit. A transaction OTP. So now the personal details have been submitted. So this completes the role of a dealing clerk. Once the dealing clerk is submitted, the employee logs in. Okay. So the employee logs in and so the personal information that has been verified by the SRDC will be available here. It is in read-only mode. The employee has to fill in his self-appraisal. The period is referred here. Usually it is the financial year period. Special achievements, and then you write the special achievements for this period. Some example, just conducted an union election in a fully computer, just an example. And then property returns submitted in time, yes or no. So this particular property returns is to be filled by an employee of level 7 and above. For others it is not required, so we will submit the record. So a transaction OTP as usual, standard operating procedure. So once it has been submitted, I cannot edit. That's it. It's like as if I have submitted my actual APAR. Once it is submitted, it reaches the domain of reporting officer. APAR. Now here is a problem. The employee, if I directly go and click, it opens the form in which to fill. Actually I am a reporting officer, so what I should do is I should go and change my role to reporting officer. Okay, now this employee is available here. I select. As usual, the SRDC's work of personal information is displayed here. Then the self-appraisal part is displayed. Based on these two, the assessment has to be made. The assessment by the reporting officer is crucial in the entire APAR process. Here we have facilitated some activities like providing predictive texting. Yes, for a particular, it is specific to a particular input type. So for here, it is, does the reporting officer agree with the statement made in part 2? So for this, we have given these alternatives. So you can select any one and press. And for integrity, it's a bit slow, that's why we are getting it very ethical, moral, tact, highly tactful, conduct, excellent conduct, maybe punctual, completely fit or fit, whatever it is. So all these words are stored in a database for each of these element. We can also add more such predictive texting. So we just complete all these things. Ability, hard work. Now there is a method to, instead of typing speech to text is also possible. So for this particular box, amenable to discipline. So here the permission to use the microphone has been denied. So once you type here, once you speak here, whatever you speak will be displayed here, and I press OK, that will be stored here. For example, here, so this is one way of doing it. So predictive texting and voice to text is there. So this is in the case of stenographers, not required now. The main thing is to give the grading. So I give outstanding. Okay, I'm saving it as draft now. Okay. And then I move on to section 2. Section 2 is for those who are eligible to be promoted to gazetted or group B selection. They are eligible for group B selection. This has to be filled. This will be there for only level 6 and level 7 and above employees of group C. And just put very good. Now, after completing one form, there is a method to save a particular elements in a template. So we create a save as template. For that, we give a name for it. So we name it as outstanding. Outstanding. outstanding 1. So suppose if I want to rate a person as outstanding, I can have a template for outstanding, and here that outstanding template, I will refresh the page to see whether it's coming. So here is the template. I select this employee, go button is pressed, I go to accept assessment. Here is a template. So here there is here is outstanding 1. That's what we have selected. So once I select outstanding 1, all the parameters that have been filled in the template for this template name outstanding will be auto filled here. After filling, I can go and modify individuals always punctual, but sometimes takes leniency, something like that. Completely fit. So excellent conduct and behavior, we can add a word here. And absolute. So I can add something which is specific to this employee alone. So I can do this, and then I will go there. So I have to complete and submit. A reporting officer has to sign digitally. Okay, now I have been digitally signed. So this ends the work of a reporting officer. So maybe the first or second case might take some time, but once we create a template for each type, like outstanding, very good, good, and other parameters, or we can say like a particular template means staff and welfare inspector template. So whenever we are assessing a staff and welfare inspector, that template can be called, so that all the basic parameters will be filled, auto filled, and for the individual we can change. For example, for stenographers, we can create one template as stenographers and do it appropriately. Now we proceed to, in this case, to reviewing officer. So here also the same problem. I have not changed the role. Reporting officer. So once I change the role, this employee Jagdishwar Prasad Sharma is there for our process. So for the reviewing officer, the personal data, self-appraisal, reporting officer's remarks, wherein and the remarks for the reviewing officer opens up. The reporting officer has to assess individually on a point-by-point basis. But for the remarks by the reviewing officer, it is in a broader sense. So here the length of service under the reviewing officer, 10 years. Yes. Agree. Exceptional. Then save as draft. So the section 2 part is also here. So reviewing officer. Here also you have the predictive texting, and you can change to Hindi also. I change it to Hindi. It's bilingual. And part 2, section 2. That's done. So here also reviewing officer has to submit his digital signature. So now the process of reviewing officer is complete. Now we move on to accepting officer. Here I change the role. Go to AFAR. I should get that name. I'll change it to English. So Jagdish Prasad Sharma is here. So as usual, this personal information, self-appraisal, assessment by reviewing officer, remarks by reviewing officer, everything is there. Now the section 2, accepting officer's remark is confined to this place. Outstanding. He just gives a standard outstanding. This role of accepting officer is confined to only giving one input. He has to see all the parameters, assessment and the remarks by the reviewing and reporting officers. So this part is also available in mobile app. The accepting officer's mobile app, he can see this on the go and complete this. But the digital sign part, he has to reach a desktop. He can save it as draft in mobile. It will take some time because of the size of the form decides the time taken. Even the self-appraisal part is planned to be available on mobile. Once the accepting officer's work is over, a PDF file will be generated, signed digitally. So the file name is named as the HRMS ID and the financial year .pdf. Okay, final signature. So now the PDF file is digitally signed. So once it is digitally signed, this file can be made available to the employee. Okay. So this will be seen by the employee after the accepting officer has created the PDF file. Until such time, none of the elements can be seen by the employee. So employee, on seeing his self-appraiser, he can represent against that application. So we will go into the representation part. So we will go to the APAR. So the employee logs in and he gives his representation is there. So the financial year, which APAR format is there. The PDF file will be available here for him to click and view. He can give his representation. Please review my rating. So I will submit. Password, yes. So the representation has been successfully saved for the employee. Now this representation will be received by the APAR cell. So here received representations. So this representation will be received and to an HRMS ID to whom it has to be marked. So normally it will be marked to the appellate authority. It is the accepting authority. Just enter the accepting authority's HRMS ID and update. Okay, this is completed. So the accepting the appellate authority will log in and open and give his remarks. The rating given is adequate. and you will update. Okay, once this is received, this will be received by the APAR cell and it will be informed to the employee. So this completes the representation part. Now we have an MIS reports. So we log in as an APAR DC. APAR dealing clerk will have access to this. We'll go to APAR reports, MIS reports. So here Jodhpur workshop, number of employees assigned is 42. Click on that. We get a department wise count. How many employees are formed? These are the form types: L1, L2. L1 is for grade pay 1800. This is for 1900 and 2000. A1 is for level 6 and 7. Annexure 1, Annexure 2, Annexure 3, Annexure 4, Annexure 5. This is for Hindi cell, Railway Board forms, and then we have 2 RPF forms. So how many employees have been assigned by each department will be shown. Yet to be assigned. Yet to be assigned will be department wise. Yet to be assigned is here. Assigned part is here. And reporting officer. So all the reporting officers of this particular JUW, railway unit, Jodhpur workshop, is shown here. Now for L2, 2 employees have been assigned. You want to know who are they. So these 2 employees have been assigned. As we progress, this reporting will improve as we progress. And there is one APAR help is also provided. This will be opened. This will be opened by all. Can be opened by all. It contains the user manual, frequently asked questions, master circular number 28 that is dealing with the APAR for Group C stuff, workflow instructions, and the various formats. What is the actual format for L1? This is L1, that is 1800 grade pay. For 1900, Annexure 1, Annexure 2, everything is there. And apart from this master circular, there are some Railway Board instructions being issued. So all those things will be here. And any video demo, that is what this video is for, will also be here. As we progress, we will be adding more help features as per user demand. So this completes the entire process of APAR. Thank you.